Greetings and salutations, fellow dorks. It's the Hateful Geeks again, and we're back, and we're going to be talking about Thor Ragnarok, the third installment in the great Marvel Cinematic Universe Thor trilogy. This is getting a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's pretty much beloved by the majority of people seeing this film. I fucking hated this film, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get ripped to pieces tonight. Just a warning, spoiler alerts ahead.
No team, just Hulk.
Welcome back to another installment of the Hateful Geeks. I'm Phil.
This is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And this week, we're trying to pump out an episode in regards to the latest Marvel Cinematic blockbuster hit, Thor Ragnarok, starring Chris Hemsworth and company. I guess I should probably throw Anthony Hopkins on there, too, since
he kind of mailed in his part, though.
Well, wait, in Anthony Hopkins' defense, the guy is so fucking old. And by the way,
he looked bad.
He put in his 2 weeks.
I heard there's an injury, a medical emergency on the shooting of Westworld Season 2, and they will not release the individual who is currently having medical problems.
They did.
Who was it?
It wasn't Anthony Hopkins. I haven't watched Westworld. I have yet to watch Westworld, unfortunately. But it was like a supporting actor. I can't think of his name, but it was not Anthony Hopkins.
Was it James Marsden?
No. Like
some random supporting actor.
Yeah, it's like
no good one.
It's not like someone
I just lost the Deadpool. Like I thought it was like Anthony Hopkins. I think he's like one of the next big actors to die in 2017. So I just lost a shit ton of money if it's not him.
Oh no. But so in this movie he looked pretty bad. Honestly,
he looked bad when they finally come to him. In the very opening, once Thor returns with Surtur's helmet and Anthony Hopkins is playing as if he is actually Loki in disguise.
Oh, yeah,
I thought he did great there.
That's true.
the subtle shit.
So yeah, we get into the. Sorry, go ahead.
Before we get into plot, let's just establish this. We already said it in our opening, but there are going to be massive spoilers ahead. We're going to talk about the plot of this film. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you're looking for a review and you don't care about spoilers, go ahead and keep listening. But if you want it and you don't want to do spoiler free, then turn this off.
Right, because we're going to spoil the shit.
And then come back and listen to us
after that too.
The movie.
But before we talk about this, I want to know, what method did you guys see this in? Like 3D, IMAX? Like what way did you guys see this movie?
Just regular 2D.
Yeah. Just like ultra screen.
Standard.
Yeah.
Okay,
it wasn't like the ultra screen or IMAX or anything like that, if it's even playing on IMAX.
So I thought I was going into a standard screening. It turned into be something called D-Move or D-Box or some Canadian company. So this is like, okay, you guys ever done like Shrek 3D or any of those like rides at like some amusement parks? It's like a movie, but the chair moves around and shit. Yeah, so I got to see Thor Ragnarok in one of these chairs that like rocked me around like a fucking roller coaster while I'm watching the film.
Did it rock you like a hurricane?
No, it actually made the movie almost unbearable for me because it felt like somebody was just jerking my chair around.
Damn, because like I'm actually like super intrigued by this. I'm not gonna lie.
It might be fun.
If it had been in 3D and there had been like, I don't know, gusts of wind or some shit, then I could have felt like I was in there. But that's only really gonna work for like a first person perspective. I didn't feel like this method really made sense for a movie like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different perspectives. It's kind of hard to like involve you as the audience member unless you're just paying attention to the environment and like that's it.
So I'm also sitting here trying to watch the movie with a reviewer's mentality, and I'm like, who's jerking my fucking chair around? So I cranked that shit down to a 0, and I was like, and everyone's like moving around having a time of their life, like the bunch of lemmings they are. And I'm like sitting here like, finally, I can enjoy this movie. Not really.
Old man
anyway,
Phil, get off my lawn.
I went to grandpa mode. It was a bad day. But yeah.
Wait, did you pull an Andy on
Thor
us?
Ragnarok opens up with Thor in like a fucking cage chained from like a ceiling in what looks like rocky hell. I don't even know what. And he's talking to like a skeleton about like what a great hero he is.
See, I thought that was I thought that was funny, humorous part of the movie. That was actually a good humor part of it. And we'll get to that later, but there's a lot of humorous parts of this movie. But yeah, I like that like opening scene because you think like maybe he's talking to like himself or talking to like another prisoner or talking to just somebody in general. But you find out it's just a fucking skeleton. like, oh, Thor's lost his shit. That's
like,
cool.
So how long have you been here?
It's just skeleton in the jaw falls off.
Right.
So at this point in the film, I'm like, okay, cool, haha, Thor's cracking jokes, but this is not the Thor that. I mean, movie 1, Thor, he had like a couple jokes, but they were like, he wasn't really trying to be funny.
Right.
He was just so damn fucking clueless that everyone was like, haha, that's funny.
A lot of the comedy comes from like Stranger in a Strange World kind of comedy.
Like he didn't know it was funny, like what he was saying. It was
like breaking a glass and asking for meat.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that was great. I agree with that, Tim. That was a great scene in the first Thor movie. This movie felt like Thor kept like throwing out knee slappers. I spent too much time with Tony Stark.
It's like
get off your fucking your get off your goddamn comedian stand, Thor, and just hit something with a hammer, please.
Right. And it was kind of like the the Darth Vader pun.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time, but I said the exact same thing. I came out and I said, this movie is called Thor Ragnarok. It is the apocalypse of Asgard.
You didn't say that.
Like, that's what's coming. I wish there was... You didn't need jokes in every single scene. There are some scenes that deserved a serious
If they
moment.
went back
there was too much
and
levity.
they called this film Thor Clown Shoes in Space, I would have been super on board. But Andy's right. This movie's called Ragnarok. This is a dark time in the Thor mythos.
Right.
This is supposed to be like a fucking rebirth apocalypse of the Asgardian culture. And instead, all right, we'll get to that point.
Yeah, so he falls... You've seen the trailers. Everyone's seen the trailers. Right. He does the whole falling scenes from the chain. He falls down to the bottom, and you realize someone's there, is talking to somebody who's essentially a god.
It is Surtur.
Surtur, yes.
Insert two-dimensional Marvel villain here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's talking to him, and he's like, pretty much at this point, you don't know. He's like joking with them, like and again, you get more jokes of him like spinning around.
It's overconfident Thor.
Yeah, it's like confident Thor, like nothing can kill Thor.
Right.
Kind of like when he fights the Hulk in the first like Avengers or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then like every superhero, he breaks out because of his hammer.
Right.
Like,
and
where did that come from? Like
he's there to take Surtur's head because he believes that.
Well, he didn't know that at first.
Isn't it?
Surtur told him.
No, yeah. Surtur kind of like tells him like, and once I put my crown into the eternal fires of Asgard, I will be giant. Like
so he's like, so I just need to knock your tiara off your head.
So you kind of you kind of screwed yourself there, Surtur. You kind of told him how to kill you, like every villain always does. Like they give away their plan. Here, this is how to stop me.
Yeah, he monologued for too long.
But then we do get the Thor kicking ass scene. I thought that was a really good scene, like Thor fighting, different style of fighting than we've seen Thor do. They actually involved a little bit more lightning. He did the whole spinny hammer thing again, of course. I really like the cinematography they had where the hammer was going around him as he was fighting, and the hammer was like spinning like in a big circle around
point
him.
Of view.
Yeah. I thought that was a really cool cinematography aspect, and that's what I wanted more of this movie. I wanted like badass Thor fighting, because to be honest, in all the Avengers movies, we don't really see Thor go full ham like ever.
No,
you know, it's always him just with his hammer.
He was a lightning rod in the first Avengers.
Right? Exactly. And then this, we finally get like, all right, Thor's a badass kind of thing. So I did like that scene.
They did it to Led Zeppelin's "Immigrant," which is like a great classic rock song.
Yes, I love that. Usually those big songs are only used in trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it got to be brought into the movie as well.
Yeah, me too.
It was in the trailer.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like normally they only play that in a trailer.
Right, they won't put it in the movie.
Which is, I agree with you. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes they don't show up. But the problem is, this song showed up twice in this movie.
Yeah, it did. Mm-hmm. We came full circle. But we'll get there eventually. We're not there yet. Yeah. All right. So of course Thor beats Surtur.
S-U-R-T-U-R.
Surtur. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So he beats him. Hey, takes his helmet or crown or head
tiara
or whatever the hell it was.
Head, I don't
unibrow.
know.
Unibrow. Yeah, he called it a unibrow. I forgot about that. So he takes it back to Asgard. And we find out when he gets to Asgard. Well, first of all, he tries to ask for Heimdall to open the bridge, and nothing's happening. Yeah,
Heimdall quit.
Yeah, he keeps asking, nothing happens, and finally, what's that guy's name?
It's Scourge.
Scourge,
the executioner.
Yeah, the new guy we get in this movie, who's like showing off to these two women all of his stuff,
and it's Carl Urban,
played by Carl Urban, Judge Dredd.
Yeah, so he points, look at all of my stuff.
It's like, I got these from Texas.
Texas. That's right.
Oh man,
my
the
God.
hillbillies in my theater cracked up at that line.
Oh my God. It was so like cheesy and corny, but I mean, it was funny to an extent, but man, like they really were like laid it on thick. Like they wanted this movie to be appealing to like the common person. Yeah.
Oh man, it was common as fuck. Anyway.
Yeah. So
yeah, we find out Heimdall's been completely like removed from his station at the Bifrost, and then Thor takes the helmet of Surtur to Odin's throne to see Odin. Anthony Hopkins just fucking Roman emperor-ing it while he watches a play about how great Loki is.
Well, it's a play that is basically the end of it's Loki's death scene in the Dark World.
Yeah, it's the Thor: The Dark World. It's
the Dark
Loki's quote unquote death scene,
and random and cameos by Matt Damon as Loki, Chris Hemsworth's cousin or brother as Thor. I can't think of his name, and then Sam Neill as Odin.
Yes. I love that Sam Neill is actually in that. Who played Thor though?
It's a Hemsworth, and I don't know if it's his younger brother or his.
Is it Liam Hemsworth?
I think it's his older brother.
Yeah,
because he looks pretty big. Liam is pretty small.
Yeah.
So why are you looking that up?
Luke Hemsworth.
Luke Hemsworth. They're all there's 2 L's and 1 C, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's my biggest problem with the scene. Thanks for the awesome cameo actors. That's great. But Loki literally spends like no effort to like keep the facade going. Loki's like taken over Asgard. He's convinced everyone he's Odin. And Thor shows up, and within like 3 minutes of like ad-libbing, he's revealed to everyone it's Loki. Like it took this long. It was just more comedy for the sake of comedy.
I mean, it was a little. I mean, yeah, there is the comedy, but it was also very anticlimactic for a cliffhanger that we've been waiting 3 years for.
Right. We didn't know what happened, like how they were going to reveal the Odin not really being there anymore, and it was actually Loki, because you'd see Loki
at the end.
Yeah,
because the camera pans over and it's Loki instead of and so we waited 3 years, and it resolved itself way too quick.
Right.
And with no like repercussions, like nobody was like calling for Loki's head on a stick.
Right. Everyone was fine with it. They're like, oh, it's Loki.
Okay,
it's just Loki.
That trickster.
But it is after being praised in Asgard for 3 years, because like there's a giant Loki statue.
Right. That he had built for himself.
Right, exactly.
Which should have pissed them off even more though.
Right. You would think they'd be all angry, like want to like, let's behead Loki or whatever you do to Loki.
I mean, it's one of the things that
burn him.
It was one of the things. It was one of the things that like we discussed a little bit earlier that was just swept under the rug real quick.
Because we all I think in every episode we talked about like what's going to happen in this next Thor movie. We talked about how are they going to like reveal,
how are they going to resolve this?
Where's Odin?
It was one of those moments that could have probably been amazing if it was serious.
Right.
By the time we're done tonight, gentlemen, I'm going to make you hate this film as much as I do.
Well then we realize, so obviously Thor is pissed off at Loki. He's like, where's Dad? What'd you do with Dad?
Right.
And they go to Earth and they put him in a fucking retirement home.
That's a dick move, man. Like, get rid of your dad and throw him in a retirement
That's gone
home.
now.
That's now being destroyed.
Right. Don't get me wrong, I'd do it, but it's not the point. Like, if Odin was my dad, I'd like him. That's a whole other story. But holy shit, yeah. And so not only does Loki lose track of Odin in the retirement home he put him in, but they have to go to the one of the weakest cameos I felt in the film was a rehashing of the Doctor Strange post credit scene from the Doctor Strange film. What? Infinite beer and Thor can't apparently deal with teleportation.
A little bit. So they had they saw Doctor Strange, like how powerful, they kind of showed how powerful Doctor Strange has become.
Yeah.
Moving a god through everything.
I mean, they're called teasers for a reason.
Right. And I don't mind that. You're right. They literally did take the exact scene from the cutscene and put it
Doctor
in there.
Strange, right.
And I get that. That part's a little frustrating, but I think I didn't notice it as much because they did have a lot of extra around it.
It didn't bother me.
I knew it was coming.
Right.
Not exactly when. So when the swirling happened and Loki disappeared and it left behind his car, that was I kind of was like awesome. But then it goes into a rehash, completely fine. But then when it shows him moving through,
teleporting quickly, like that stuff like that, and changing everything,
and Loki, who is like a master of
when
deception, like just getting swept.
So when they finally when Thor's he's got an infinite beer, awesome. That is pretty cool, by the way. Infinite beer was pretty sweet, but apparently Thor can't handle teleportation. Are you fucking shitting me? This is a guy who flies down the Bifrost and he gets like motion sickness because Doctor Strange is going around the library too fast.
Well, it's very abrupt.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think it was this guy. I don't know that he couldn't handle it. I think it was just making a little like lightheaded, like moving around.
This is the dude who fights fucking frost giants and spins around with a hammer. I call it bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think it should happen.
It's also abrupt and like it's not like Doctor Strange is telling him like
it's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Listen to you fuckers trying to justify Thor having an inner ear problem. Like, I mean, he's not a fucking dog.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like maybe he's never experienced magic like that before.
I'm just saying that just doesn't bother me.
No, yeah, it didn't bother me that much either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I literally almost took a shit in my popcorn. Made me so mad.
Yeah, I think maybe because it's like this is magic that he hasn't experienced because he he even showed like Doctor Strange is even more powerful than Loki, who Loki's supposed to be like this all like master of like illusions and all this stuff, and like Doctor Strange's like, okay, enough, I'm done with you, and like just throws him.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
You too, bit.
Did anyone else feel like Loki was really nerfed in this film?
I think
like Loki's a badass. Loki's he fooled all of Asgard, but apparently he falls for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But that just shows you the power that Doctor Strange is.
I think it's how powerful Doctor Strange is.
Yeah.
If that's true, the motherfucker's broken.
Yeah. Well, he has an Infinity Stone, so yeah, he is kind of broken.
That's another thing. Thor mentions at the beginning of the film that he went on a journey to find Infinity Stones.
Yeah, he didn't get any.
There's one sitting in front of him while he's chugging beer.
Yeah, he has no idea. He's just dumb. He doesn't really know.
No, I think he knows that the Tesseract is a stone.
He doesn't have the Tesseract.
He doesn't have the Tesseract. He's talking about Doctor Strange has the eye of...
the eye
of Agamotto is the time.
Sorry, I thought you meant like he had one in front of him while on Asgard.
He actually said he has one in front of him while he's chugging the beer. So like, there's that interaction. Yeah, I don't think he knows what he's really looking for either. Like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thor is the wrong man for this job. He is no Sherlock Holmes.
Thor is like all brawn and not really much brain.
Right.
So they finally get done with Doctor Strange. The laughs have been had, and they go find Dad on a cliffside in Norway.
Yeah, which I think is ironic. Like, let's go to Norway where the Vikings are from.
Right.
I think that's sort of the point. I mean, the whole origin of like Norse mythology comes from Asgard, so that is their home on Midgard.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. So this is when we get Odin, who I think looks like decrepit, and
Anthony Hopkins, like 80-some-year-old Anthony Hopkins, did not look good.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's like he's got a bit of a paunch going, and I don't know if that was just like him or like it just didn't make him look healthy.
Yeah,
I'm worried for him honestly because I love Anthony Hopkins and he didn't look good, man.
But I wonder if they kind of try to make that because spoilers. Because again, Odin dies, so I think they're trying to like make him look sick-ish. So that they can understand that he really is sick and he really might be coming to an end.
Right. Yeah, because Anthony Hopkins turns 80 next month.
Right.
So Odin pulled a Sandman from Spider-Man 3 just at the very end, like, now I must go.
He did.
No. I literally looked at the dude next to me and was like, fucking Yoda. He was like, yeah, man.
Yeah, he just decided it was his time.
I was like, and there is another Odin son. I'm going.
Your sister.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's like the moment he's dead and he like blows into the wind and a sparkly pixie dust flies into the wind.
Right.
They turn around and like she literally like comes out of the teleporter like right there.
She
like,
comes out of like a
dead?
weird like gooey balls of
it looked like a death gate.
Death something. I don't know what it was.
It looked like a death
gate. Yeah.
That's
so she like pops out. Well, before that we see when Odin dies, you see Thor kind of go all electric. Like he gets like super powered somehow, which I'm not sure how that happened.
He's the god of thunder, man. But we don't always been his powers.
We see him like, use the hammer, go up to the sky, call in thunder. This is like he was generating thunder himself.
I took it as every major hero, they know when they have their powers, they get their powers.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some cataclysm that lets them get their full, and I think the death of Odin kind of triggered that ability in Thor to kind of be like, I mean, we'll get there. He uses the death of Odin.
Well, we haven't got to the loss of Mjolnir just yet. That was before he lost his hammer. Yeah, so again, spoilers. We just skipped that right to it. But so
you see, all the best parts of this movie are ruined by the trailers.
Yeah, that's true. You do see this. I was surprised they showed us in the trailer because you do like Odin warns Thor and Loki that she's stronger than both of them, that they won't be able to stop her. All this crap about how she's like just death. You know, we know that. And then Thor's like, I'm still gonna get her. I'm gonna throw my hammer at her.
Her fucking power is she generates daggers from nothing.
Well, not just daggers, any weapon, like any sort of weaponry.
Kate
That's not
Blanchett
the power of
was
death. That's just some fucking
so
Colombian
good in
drug
this,
lord with a
though.
shit ton of knives on her.
She was really good in this. Like Hela had a little bit more of a limited role, but when she was in this, she was really good.
I liked the character. I liked her being that character. I had no issue with her acting.
I love Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, so I think the acting was great. I just think like they made her completely overpowered. Like not to say like that's not how she really is. Like maybe she might actually be that way in the comics.
Say, that's what
like
Odin warned him.
Right, but like there's literally nothing, like there was no like weakness. We didn't find a weakness. And like, you know, I'm not saying we should have seen it right away, but like you would think like towards like throughout the movie, the whole movie, you might like find a weakness. Like, oh, she might be stronger than everybody, but you know, he can like trick her or something, whatever. I felt like she was just like, nope, this is like the end all be all, nothing can stop this. So kind of just
pretty
like,
much why she is the goddess of death.
Yeah.
She is death. She is Marvel's death in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, she's Lady
What's the
Death?
name of that fucking store
Lady
back
Death.
in the
Lady
80s and
Death is
90s that
from
sold swords and
Chaos.
shit?
What's that?
It was a sword in the mall. There's a shop in the mall from the 90s and the 80s that sold like butterfly knives and katana swords. And like every like prepubescent middle schooler was like, man, I really need to get me a katana. Like you go to this fucking store.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Then Spencer sells knives and stuff.
Spencer's was like rubber dog poo and shit like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember if any of our listeners can remember the name of this store, fucking like tell us please, because
what mall? Northland or
any mall. Like, pick a fucking mall. Like, there's a chain of these things, man. You can just go and like, here, I need a Zippo lighter and a fucking like butterfly knife. We got 20.
That sounds like a good shopping trip.
20. So I feel like I'm watching Hela and her powers. I'm like, this bitch owns like a whole like chain of these stores.
She's just throwing them out everywhere.
She's got daggers everywhere.
You get a dagger, and you get a dagger, and you get a dagger.
She's the Oprah Winfrey of knives.
But she destroyed the hammer.
Right.
And Thor, of course, is now super pissed, wants to fight her, and Loki says, Heimdall, get us the fuck out of here.
So he ruined it because now she can get into...
Because he just sucked her right up too because she is Asgardian.
Yep. Stupid Loki.
So then the douche brothers, the fucking stooges here get knocked out of the Bifrost, thrown God knows where, and Hela just shows up at the fucking doorstep of Asgard, and there's the Warriors 3, the biggest bad, the second biggest badasses in Asgard next to Thor, and this chick literally ends their careers in 3 seconds.
She just
with
snaps her
zero
fingers.
dialogue.
They're dead.
Right, no dialogue whatsoever.
It was so fast that I didn't even see. I only saw 2 of them.
Right.
I was like, where's the third?
Well,
where's Hogan?
My question, where's Sif? There was no mention of Sif. I actually had to ask somebody. I said, is Sif in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now?
No, she
So why was she not on Asgard?
Because they couldn't get Jamie Alexander because she's on Blind Spot.
So why? It just stood out to me that
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying they couldn't get the actors to do it. I swear
when she came out, she said like, "Oh, it's the Warriors minus Lady Sif." I swear, like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but I swear I heard her say that. I might have to go back.
Her career's dead, so she's dead. I don't care.
So they're dead. I mean, she just dismantles them like they were standing still.
Technically, only 2 out of the 3 that she wrecks right then and there, because the third one is the Japanese Asgardian.
Yeah, she goes back out and kills him too.
Yeah,
okay, that was the one that
they fight at the end. So she gets down the full Rainbow Bridge causeway, and then he's standing there with the full Asgardian army.
Okay, so she's
like,
that one.
Okay. After
she's
she
like,
destroys the entire army,
maybe
he
like,
tries
I
to
thought
get up
you'd
again.
be. She's like, I thought you'd be happy to see me.
Okay, maybe that was when I went outside to pee.
Probably.
One positive about this is that Hela looked spot the fuck on. Straight out of the comic book. Kate Blanchett looked amazing. The costuming, even the headdress, it looked great. Unfortunately, the script was dog shit. That's not well, but yeah, she kills the final third warrior, wrecks half of the Asgardian defense force.
Oh, she killed all of them. Like they were all dead.
just strolls into the fucking throne room and like reveals like, by the way, my dad, he lied about his past, and apparently he kept this old ceiling as opposed to just removing it. He just built a new ceiling over it.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Like, why would he not
He
just
spackled over.
Why wouldn't he just destroy it and redo it? No, he's like, I'm just gonna cover up my past.
That's what everyone does.
Let's just talk about this. The next 25 minutes of this movie after this scene is us basically figuring out that Odin was really shitty at covering up his fuck ups.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so he like she uncovers that, and then she like says, "Oh, what you don't know is they used to bury all the warriors beneath this
Asgard,
the palace.
The palace, yeah. So then she goes down through the where they keep all the bad things. The vault.
Yeah.
Knocks over the Infinity Gauntlet and says, fake. Knocks it over. And then she walks past some things and like, oh, that's crap. That's crap.
And that solves like the biggest like plot hole in the Marvel movies is that why is there 2 Infinity Gauntlets?
Nope. Fake.
Nope.
Fake.
Yeah.
Then she
See
walks.
the size of it though?
Yeah.
No, that thing's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. She could have like worn it like a fucking tutu. It was gigantic.
Yeah. It went from like her waist up to her head.
Yeah. And she's like, nope.
It's like a garbage
and
can.
Then she walks past the Tesseract.
She's like, now that's...
Well, she walks past the frost giant ice thing.
Their coffin.
Yeah, the thing from the first Thor movie.
Yeah.
Or is
their casket.
Is that the first Thor movie?
Yes.
Yes. And then she's like, oh, that's nothing. And then she finds the Tesseract. She's like, oh, that might be interesting. And then she gets to the internal flame. So she thinks, oh, this is a great idea. I'm just going to take the internal flame, fall down. Oh, she was talking to Scourge still.
Yeah, so she busts a hole in the floor and drops down to the crypt.
With a giant pickaxe that she just formed herself.
She's amazing with her abilities.
All right. It was, okay, this might be the 80s kid in me coming out, but when she said, here's the eternal flame, did anyone kind of hope that the Bangles were going to kick in there for a moment?
Dude,
close your eyes.
I like the soundtrack. I like the score. I like the background music. Although at one point I think I leaned over and I even said, "This sounds a little Stranger Things."
Yeah, it was towards the end. I think it did sound a little bit like that.
It was very 80s synthesizer. It was because Guardians is really 70s, so they did the 80s theme. They were like the neon lights and I don't get me wrong, I like that kind of stuff.
Thank you, Mark Mothersbaugh.
Yeah, he did a good job, but that still didn't fix this film for me.
Yeah, so I mean, I had a really so Kevin Smith going in, he actually did a review of it, and he actually said that this movie reminded him a lot of Flash Gordon, and I could see that with the really big 80s vibe, the neon lights, the music, the soundtrack, the different interactions. Definitely could see that. I thought that was a really good comparison. So yeah, so we had her falling, just literally just falls. Hero landing, yay! Right into the pit of misery.
Pretty much their crypt.
I don't know.
Yeah, their crypt down there with all their dead. The undead army is pretty much asleep right now.
Well, they're not asleep. They're really dead.
They're super dead.
Yeah.
It's a crypt. Dead. They are dead.
So then she takes her dog Fenris.
Fenris. Yeah, Fenris is an actual Norse mythology.
Yeah, it is. He guards the river, right?
No, buddy. That's Greek mythology. You're thinking of the river Styx and Cerberus. Okay. Fenris is a gigantic wolf in Norse mythology. And in Norse mythology, Fenris is supposed to devour the earth.
Oh.
Like he's that big. He's a wolf that large.
Okay.
He will devour earth at Ragnarok.
Well, he wasn't that big. So
no, he wasn't.
So then she smashes the internal flame into the ground, and now she has an undead army at her bedding call. So now Hela, who was already super powerful, even more powerful with an army.
Good job, Odin. Way to keep the fucking bane of Asgardian existence in your fucking basement with a thing that can resurrect them 1 floor up.
Right, exactly. Like anybody could have done that. Like, oh, what happens if we just tip this over and it happens to fall into the crypt? Shit, we got zombies. That's how the zombie apocalypse starts.
Yeah, seriously. Like this is you want zombies? This is how we get zombies.
You want ants, Lana?
Because all this did was I was face palming. I'm like, fucking Odin, fucking Asgard. You guys deserve Ragnarok.
Right. They did not plan this well. No wonder this was prophesized. You guys' planning was awful.
That's another thing. Somebody told them it was going to happen.
Right.
It's a prophecy. That's literally somebody telling you the future. What did you do? You did nothing. You let it
happen. So then this is when we finally get the cutscene away to find out where Thor and Loki, when they fell out of the Bifrost, where they went. So you see this planet
Sakaar.
Yes.
I mean, where he lands, it's
a garbage dump.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's pure garbage.
Well,
dump.
you can see all the portals like over the entire world are
right.
just spewing out garbage like constantly.
Right.
So for our comic book listeners, fans, this is the part of the film where they decided that there wasn't enough plot for the actual Thor story. So let's just do World War Hulk.
Right. They kind of threw in World War Hulk a little bit.
Well,
here.
I mean, you got to do it for two reasons. One, I mean, fans want it.
Oh yeah.
And they can't make a solo Hulk movie.
Right.
Well, it should have been
without
anyway.
Universal.
Right, exactly. So they kind of like got away with it. Like, hey, let's just kind of bring Hulk back in, throw him in, and we'll have 2 movies in one. Yay.
Right.
So what you really did was take 2 really awesome Marvel plot lines, mash them together, the shitty parts, and threw all the good shit on the floor.
Yeah. So you get Thor falling down, landing on the ground, and then this ship of, I don't know what they are. The aliens,
let's call them Reavers. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't think they have
garbage
eaters.
people.
They pretty much wanted to ask Thor if he was a fighter or if he was food.
They're a Marvel version of Jawas.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. They're kind of like Jawas.
A little bit more articulate.
I thought it was very like Mad Max.
Yeah. Very just garbage scavengers, whatever you want to call them. And so they decide like, hey, are you gonna eat Thor or are we gonna fight Thor?
Yeah, was it fight or food or
So
something?
then they just started pummeling him.
Yeah, they shock him with this net that's like
and then Valkyrie shows up with her fucking spaceship, which she apparently has like the power glove, and she can just like make the spaceship shoot its spaceship arms wherever it wants.
She was pissed ass drunk.
She's massively drunk.
Yeah.
She walks out of her ship, like tries to like demand them to like give him to her, and she just falls
over
and lands in a decrepit body of like some
dead
animal.
Creature.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we literally going to tell the entire story of this film, or are we going to hit PowerPoints? Because I feel like
I'm
we're
just
going through
the
like
parts that cracked me up, and you guys are reminding me of them as we go.
Right.
She was blasted ass drunk.
I thought that was a good touch.
Right.
And I like that they explain why she's always drunk later on.
Yeah, they do.
There's a chick behind me in the theater who was like super impressed with how alcoholic Valkyrie was, and I was like, I looked behind me and I would just mouth like, "Bitch, check your life. You need help."
Yep. So she takes Thor to meet the Grandmaster,
who is brilliantly played by Jeff Goldblum.
I really felt like it was just Jeff Goldblum playing
himself.
Goldblum.
It was.
Oh yeah,
but it was so good.
I thought he was good. I thought he was a little bit the redeeming quality of this movie. Honestly,
never once said life.
We haven't done
way.
anything yet where I'm like, okay, this movie is dog shit.
That's not saying dog shit. I just think like a lot of the stuff was like poorly written, or they tried to throw too much humor at the point. And I think it was like little bits of the movie that I liked, split up by parts that should not have been there.
I felt like this movie is pandering, and that's my problem with it, which explains why so many fucking certain people really love it. So I mean, I'll talk about that later. Let's keep through the plot.
No,
I didn't feel like I was pandered to at all.
You were pandered to, buddy.
I think they were trying to make
Tell me what was pandered.
I think they're trying to make it really common for a lot of people to enjoy with all the humor and things like that. They got away from a lot of the actual.
I agree.
Stuff.
I'm not saying it's a perfect film, but just because there's too much humor doesn't make it shit.
We can get this in a little bit later. Let's get to the plot points.
Yeah, we'll get to the plot points. Okay, so so she takes to meet the Grandmaster, and he's in like a chair that's like magnetized. I don't know, whatever.
It's like
So he pretty much can't do anything.
They play the fucking Willy Wonka music while he's going on his way.
Pandering.
No,
that's
fun.
Pandering.
That's
called
fun.
the definition.
That is actually fun.
Berry, rose-tinted glasses, pandering. That is the definition of it.
It is. No, you're right. It is the definition of pandering. I was hilarious happy with that. Because it's going through like this hologram of like why you should love this place and how you're no good to be here and that you belong.
Where the Grandmaster came from and how he created this planet.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then like he's like freaks out because he thinks like he's gonna like land in run into a planet or something, get attacked by something, and he's just sitting there in front of everybody screaming like a little girl.
Which was good. So Thor is set up to fight the champion, the grand champion.
The grand champion. Well, he chooses that
in the contest of champions.
Yes,
which is an 80s throwback to Marvel.
Right.
We also find out that Loki has landed on this planet weeks ahead of Thor based on his dropping out of the Bifrost before him.
Right.
And he's already made
friends with the Grandmaster.
He's already made his way all the way up to being able to chill next to him.
That's what Loki does.
And that is Loki.
He survives. He's a survivist.
His silver tongue.
Yep.
I've never met this man before a day in my life. We're brothers, adopted.
Exactly. And so then, you get Thor next to this other criminal or somebody.
Korg. His name is Korg, and he's from
No,
not yet. We'll get to Korg. Or Porg, or whatever the name is.
Korg.
It's the guy he's in the chair next to, and the Grandmaster says, "I pardon you. I pardon you of your life." And then melts him.
Wasn't that Bully guy from Guardians? The glass figure dude? Glass figurines?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Maybe?
Like the first Guardians, it's been a couple years since I've seen the first
Guardians 1.
Guardians.
Remember when they were trying to fence the Infinity Stone?
Yeah. Like I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure.
Look that up, Tim. IMDb that shit.
So the reason I bring this up is because it's never mentioned in the film, but Grandmaster is the brother of the Collector,
right?
Who got betrayed by that fence when he told them who was trying to buy the Infinity Stone.
Oh,
so it makes sense that after everything that went down in Guardians 1, that the Collector had sold the fence to his brother for to probably make up his losses. And then we get to see his ass get melted into a giant blue puddle of shit.
It smells like burnt toast.
What's that smell like? Apparently he can't smell.
Yeah.
I like burnt toast.
And he's like, I'm stepping in it. He's just melting this blue goo.
I do like neurotic Jeff Goldblum. I just was like, Jeff Goldblum is too Jeff Goldblum for this. Like,
never be too.
No.
I liked him a lot.
Right.
Well, if you're going to go like balls to the wall Jeff Goldblum, then you need to say life finds a way, but he never said that.
That's true. They could have thrown it in there, couldn't they? That would have been...
Any way they could have thrown it in the movie.
Do they own the rights to that?
Don't go 98% Jeff Goldblum. Just go the full 100, man.
You never go full Jeff Goldblum.
You always go
Jeff Goldblum. Always.
You either go full or you go home.
Oh, jeez.
Jurassic Park.
All right. So then he like challenges and he's like, I want to fight the champion, your champion. Ugh. And then he gets thrown in the ring of prison, the endless loop.
It's with
what's his name?
Korg.
Yeah.
Who was voiced by the director of the film, and I won't even try to say his name.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika Waititi.
Which his
Taika
voice
Waititi.
did not match that body whatsoever, and it was hysterical.
He was so funny though.
He was one of the best parts of the film, but for a minute there I thought it was Taron Egerton from fucking Kingsman. He's like, because he's got like a cocky British accent.
Yeah,
he's like saying bruv and shit like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, so does Waititi. So
yeah,
well, obviously,
cool.
Yeah.
And when he calls him Doug, I about lost it.
Doug.
He's like, "You're new Doug."
Oh yeah, you're new Doug. Doug said the same thing. Oh, hi, new Doug.
You're new Doug.
Now that's a level of comedy that was good. Like that, like to me, that was appropriate timing for comedy.
From a supporting character.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Disney or Marvel always has this really good way of making you fall in love with like these supporting characters that really have no bearing on the plot, but are just thrown in there for us. And we always love them. Like they've always succeeded in doing that somehow.
So that's where the comedy of the film succeeds. But when I've got fucking Hela and Scourge and Loki cracking one-liners, that's where it falls flat for me. It's like, no,
Loki can crack one-liners.
Fucking godlike villains.
Yeah.
Maybe not Scourge, but the other two definitely.
Yeah, Scourge, I feel like Scourge was just there because he wanted to survive.
Yeah, Scourge was just in survival mode. At no point did he enjoy what he was doing.
No, and you kind of always got that impression too.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to die.
Sucks because I love Carl Urban. He's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Judge Dredd, pick a fucking movies in. He's just great.
He's Bones in Star Trek.
Bones.
Well, I was going to avoid Trek. But,
I was just...
You're not wrong. I mean,
you're not wrong.
It's one of the good things about Trek was Carl Urban.
Yep. So then, Thor goes off to fight their champion. And this is when we finally get, which we knew was going to happen.
Because they ruined it in the fucking trailers.
Yeah, they tried not to, but they like started with the Incredible, and then they cut it off a little bit. And then in later trailers, they actually showed the whole thing. I was like, why? Just leave it at the other one. Like,
I didn't mind because we as the viewers knew what was coming, but it was more fun seeing Loki and the other characters that had no clue what was coming.
Right.
Loki's freak out.
Yeah, when Loki's like, I gotta get off this planet.
Oh man, but then Thor gets a taste of that medicine too, though.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right. And then Loki's like, that's how it feels.
That was awesome. I was like, holy shit, like is Loki having like PTSD right now from the straight sack whooping he got from Hulk.
And what's funny is Hulk even like, so like, we get like the whole like, seeing, oh, he's a friend from work, I know him. And then Hulk is like, looks over and he's like, oh yeah, I do know you. But he still goes over and beats his ass.
like,
he's like, I'm still going to beat you up. We're not friends.
So this is another part of the film that like I went duh fug in the middle of the theater out loud, and I probably pissed some people off around me. There's no way in hell that this fight ends with Thor winning the way he was winning. It just doesn't make sense. This is Hulk we're talking about. Thor, granted they had to bring him down with like the choke collar, the electrical like collar, but that shouldn't have been necessary. Hulk should have beat
Thor's actually
7
gone
shades of
toe-to-toe with the Hulk
shit
in
out
the
of
comics a few times.
Thor is the one person I think that can go toe to toe with the Hulk.
Yeah, there's actually an Avengers comic. I can't remember the number right now.
Well, damn it, Andy.
The cover is Thor versus Hulk, and Thor goes with him the entire time. Thor is a Norse.
Well, he's a god. And so is Hulk. Because Hulk's essentially a god too. Because he essentially he can't die, and he regenerates. And the more mad he gets, the stronger he gets. And and I agree. I don't think
from running a comic book store, I've had this conversation so many fucking times. I'm so
really
numb. I'm so numb to it.
Yeah.
I just feel like it was really one-sided. Like Thor just like was unleashing lightning. He was beating his ass along the wall. Like
but Hulk still whooped his ass too.
Yeah,
only because they put Thor down.
No, before that, Hulk got a few really good hits on him. Yeah, he put him into the wall, and I think maybe what happened too is Hulk got a little bit surprised by this because he's so used to on this planet just destroying any contender that walks in easily.
And this was another scene where Thor utilized that trauma that he just had of watching his father, quote unquote, die.
Yep.
And that's when he taps into his full lightning ability.
Like does that entire he pretty much does a tiger uppercut, but it's lightning.
Tiger.
And doesn't knock out Hulk, but gives him a good knock.
Yeah.
And that's when I think that was the only really good hit Thor got in on him, and then they zapped him to not let him keep going.
Yeah.
And then Hulk jumped up out of the sky and rained hell down on
Hulk leap.
Thor. Yeah. So Hulk smashed literally from the skyscraper above.
And apparently he survived that. Whatever.
It's Thor. He's a god.
Okay, I get it. I will suspend disbelief and let it go.
Yeah. Thor survived random shit like that too.
It knocked the fuck out of Thor. He didn't come to until way later.
Yeah, it was like a week later.
Maybe a day or two, but hyperbole aside, he wakes up in Hulk's fuck chambers.
Yeah.
And with Hulk buck ass naked in the hot tub. That's a Hulk in a tub.
Yeah. That's a Hulk in the hot tub.
That is now burned into my brain.
Eyeful.
There's a shot of Hulk ass.
Yeah, you get straight Hulk ass. Thor got full Hulk
and
dick.
Thor got an eyeful Hulk wiener.
Hulk's got a firm buttocks.
Did you get aroused during that scene, Tim?
Obviously.
Oh, okay.
God damn.
Green booty.
Fucking weird.
So
is this the part of Mallrats where we talk about the Thing's orange rock penis, whether or not Mr. Fantastic can stretch every part of it?
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously his dick would match the size of him because he's the Hulk. So
Hulk penis bigger than all Avengers.
Except
Captain America.
I really was not expecting to talk about the size
Hulk's dick?
Of his gamma irradiated dick, but sure.
All right, so
this is my life.
Well, you brought it up with his Hulk ass, so it's your fault.
This is true.
Yeah, so we get an interaction with Hulk and Thor where Hulk actually talks. So this is Hulk's talked little one-liners here and there in other movies, not really full conversations.
I think he said Betty and Puny God.
Puny God.
I think that's about it.
We have not had Talking Hulk until now.
Right. So we get Talking Hulk. And this is one of my issues with the movie. And I know it's not, everybody in this room doesn't agree with me. I like the way they made Hulk, his wording and his phrasing. I did agree with that. I did not agree with the inflection they gave Hulk. They made him sound like a teenager, kind of like he was, just pubescent, angry, special, walking around. I didn't feel like he was like the angry Hulk, just talking one-liners. I felt like they just kind of made him seem too
is that
funny.
Not the Hulk though?
I know. So let me explain. The Hulk that we've had up until this point, he didn't talk. when he is the Hulk, when the Hulk is in control, he is not an intellectual being.
Right, I agree.
So
with that.
he is slowly learning to communicate, to talk, to be able to do that. So he technically is, like you're saying, like a dim-witted teenager. He's even younger. He is juvenile in his thought process and the way he handles himself, and even the way he throws tantrums.
Yeah,
like
I just feel like
I thought that was one of the only things they nailed.
Like to me, this was the Hulk. I've been waiting for this Hulk.
And to me, it just felt like, like I said, the wording and the script was right. I agree with that part of it. I just feel like the way they portrayed it just didn't hit it on the nail for me. Like it just was not what I imagined it being like.
Sweeney not Hulk fan. Sweeney half Hulk fan.
You're not a friend
real
of
Hulk fan.
And like I said, no, I do. I agree. The script, that whole interaction back and forth, like you're Banner friend, not Hulk friend. Like I agree with all that. I think that's how he would talk. I just the way it portrayed it to me just felt too juvenile and too like they're trying to make it light and funny. And I just felt like it was, yes, light and funny, but not. I didn't get it.
They didn't do a really good job of it. You got to realize at this point, he's been Hulk for 2 years because as Banner has kind of bragged like, hey, I could switch it on when I want.
Right.
At this point, Hulk could stay Hulk when he wants.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, I'm not bringing Banner back.
That's the whole premise of World War Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Is that Hulk took over and is like
Planet
I'm
Hulk,
not going to be Banner anymore, right? Like, I'm going to be Hulk forever.
That's actually semi inaccurate. Planet Hulk, when Hulk was tossed into space by the Illuminati, look it up. I don't have time to explain this whole story either. But when he's tossed into space by the Illuminati, Banner himself is so fucking irate at what they did to him.
Oh, he can't.
He doesn't. At this point in time in the Hulk story, his mind and Hulk's mind are almost one and the same.
Right.
So when he's actually in Hulk form, Banner and Hulk are like
they're in agreement.
Constantly communicating. They share memories at this point.
Like I think if I remember right, like that just causes the Banner psyche to just give up.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
So Hulk and Banner became one
Hulk
and the same.
could be in control, but go for it, Hulk.
And yeah, we can move on past it. For me, I liked the interaction. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good humorous like interaction between Thor and Hulk, talking about how Hulk's like Thor is trying to get to like Hulk to be on his side. He's like, no, I'm not Banner friend, I'm Thor friend. And I just, the way it portrayed to me, I felt like I was watching. I didn't feel like I was watching the Hulk. I felt like I was watching some other character that didn't matter.
Shit, I didn't think this was going to be the thing that Andy and I agreed on about this movie, but yeah, I thought Hulk was great.
Accurate Hulk.
Okay.
I loved it.
Yeah.
We can agree, disagree. It's fine.
I even thought Hulk's ass was comic book accurate. I mean, that matched like.
So we get through the whole interaction of Thor and Hulk in his bedchamber. And then he's like, "Fine, leave." He tells Thor to leave, and Thor tries to leave and walks into the invisible laser fence, and then Hulk just starts cracking up laughing. He's like, "Do it again."
Honestly, the next like 30 minutes of the film just felt like big fluffer to me. It was just the adventures of Hulk and Thor trying to escape Sakaar, and Banner showed up for like 10 whole minutes and had a couple funny one-liners about Tony Stark's tight pants.
That was so random too.
No, but I love that too. The first thing he came through, he's like, "Did we beat Ultron?" He's like, "Dude, that was 2 years ago."
Yeah,
you've been Hulk for 2 years.
Yeah. So we get Thor convinces Hulk to get on his side, and then every day Hulk goes and trains with Valkyrie. So then Valkyrie comes back in. Thor somewhat convinces her to help them as well, or at least not stop them, I guess I would say. Because he gets the remote for his little electrocution device that she's been using to try to keep him, tame and can't leave, and knocks him out when he tries to do anything stupid. So then, we find out there's that the ship that Hulk came in, the what's it called? Quinjet, thank you. Quinjet's there. Thor tries to go down and open and turn it on, which we saw in the trailers again. So Thor is trying to use all the code names and Strongest Avenger and what else do you use? Like Strongest Avenger, God of Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder God.
Thunder God. Point Break, dude.
Point Break.
He finally uses Point Break. That's the one.
Which is a callback to the first Avengers, I think.
That's what Tony called him, Point Break.
I can't remember if it was the first or second
one. That scene when they were all arguing.
Right.
So, and then at this point, the Hulk chases him back because the Hulk's upset that he left. The Hulk wants him to come back. And he's like, "No, come back." He's like tearing up the Quinjet, and Thor's like, "No, stop." So he doesn't want to destroy the ship, obviously. And then he finally turns on the tape of Black Widow.
ScarJo,
ScarJo.
man. Redheaded
The sun's
ScarJo
going down.
kills
Yeah.
Hulk
The
Boner.
sun's going down.
Thor
Thor
the
keeps
whole
trying
time
to
trying to get Hulk to calm down. And didn't once work.
No, not from him.
Sun's going down, big fella. Looks like we have to wrap this up, big guy.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yep.
And
And then so ScarJo's voice and sexy appeal finally calms down the Hulk a little bit.
it does the opposite of what it should do, though. It kills Hulk Boner as opposed to like
Turned him on.
Yeah, like she's like Hulk's so disgusted and turned off me, become Banner now.
Well, no, I think it just brings back the
Calming.
humanity part of Banner. So Banner's fighting back the Hulk mind at this point. And then Banner takes over and pushes Hulk back, and it becomes Banner again. And that's the point where Andy mentioned before, you get the, like, did we beat Ultron? Did we do it?
Like, yeah, dude. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I'm in Hulk for 2 years? Like, yep.
Yeah.
So then the next 20 minutes of the film was a fucking heist movie about how do they get a car to go through a portal to get back to
Essentially,
fucking
yeah.
Asgard.
They're like-
Valkyrie agrees to help them.
Right.
Which I actually ended up really liking Valkyrie. I was
like Valkyrie.
I was a little suspect,
Drinks.
but I like that they said, "Oh, you're a Valkyrie.
Right.
Right.
You're not the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
You're a
And-
Valkyrie." So seeing her become almost her own character was really cool.
Because
Right.
you get to see why she drinks, and it's because Odin sent the Valkyries
To fight
to
Hela.
fight Hela,
Hela.
and Hela killed them all
Right.
except her.
I thought it was because she was in this terribly scripted film. That's why she was drinking. That made
No,
me
it just
drink.
showed more of Hela's
Yeah, so
power.
that's what Loki does to her, because like she's trying to fight Loki to try to capture him again, and Loki's like, "Oh, that must be a really bad memory," and then he like just does his mind trick. I don't know what it's called, but makes her go back and relive that moment again.
Mhm.
And we see they're all fighting Hela. Hela's killing all of them, and then Hela throws a spear at her. And what I'm assuming is her girlfriend saves her, because this
Who
character
cares?
came out and actually said that Valkyrie
she's
is
bisexual.
is bisexual. So what I'm assuming that is that her girlfriend that saved her life.
I don't give a crap who these characters bone. I just want a plot that makes sense. I
The
don't
plot
care about
makes
any of that
sense.
stuff.
The plot makes sense. It may have been poorly scripted, some of the wording, but the plot makes sense 100%.
So other than Odin, who told nobody, and Frigga, I guess Rene Russo, who's dead from the second movie.
Right.
Other than these two people, no one else in Asgard
They were all dead.
knew about Hela except for the Valkyrie.
They were all dead. Like all the soldiers that fought before were down below dead.
Right.
Fenris was
yeah,
dead.
but like,
all the
my
Valkyries
point
were
is
dead.
that here is a perfectly legitimate survivor of an encounter who knows the abilities of Hela, who has told. You didn't leave a note. You didn't say anything. You didn't have a blog.
No,
like,
she
remember
just
that
went out
time
and
we all
get
got
drunk.
our asses kicked by Hela?
Same thing that
I'm
Thor
drunk
does.
now.
I would say by this point, Hela's become almost like myth upon itself. Like
Well, how
we've
long ago was that?
How we've always said, like, how did people in the universe not know Vader was still around when it wasn't that long ago that he was running around murdering people? Like, it
Because
just
George Lucas doesn't know how to write.
he became myth. That's how I took it with her. Like the last few people that even knew her at this point, she's gone. She's banished. She no longer exists. There's no point.
We don't even
to
know how long
talking
she's
about
been
her.
gone. Like that could be like 300 years.
Yeah,
It's a lot longer than that, apparently.
Right,
It's like thousands of years.
Because they don't age like we do.
Well, she still remembered, so she couldn't shoot a motherfucker an email.
No, she was angry about it, upset, and went off to drink, kind of like what Thor does when he gets upset. He goes off and gets shit-faced. Pretty much all Asgardians like, I'm mad. Let's go fucking drink.
You don't have a computer? You don't have
No,
a
they don't.
computer. Then how do you get
Why?
an email?
So you can send an email? No. Don't you ever? Send an email. Like, why? Do you have a computer?
Callbacks.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so heist scene, brotherly love. They get the fucking car.
Yep. Well,
they go through the teleporter,
car, it's a
the
ship.
giant portal.
They get a
they steal Jeff Goldblum's ship.
they get his orgy ship, and then they
His
take
orgy.
it
That's
through
right.
the,
His orgy
yeah,
ship.
he's like, don't touch
birthday
anything.
orgy ship.
His orgy ship, and they take it through the devil's butthole.
Yep.
That
The
is
devil's anus.
Devil's anus. Yeah. So that.
Once again, this is an oversaturation of comedy. I'm not saying it's not funny. It's just
They
too
did a lot.
much.
They did do, and then we all agree with that. They did do a lot of comedy.
Yeah, it's funny. Was it needed to be called the devil's anus? No, but it was funny.
Yeah, it was. So then they come back through the devil's anus, which just happens to lead right back to Asgard. Which
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I know you're on a roll here, but can we go back to one of the most awkward scenes of this film?
Absolutely.
When Jeff Goldblum and that fat what I don't want to know what the captain of his guard. I don't know what the hell her name was.
Yeah.
When she's like, the slaves are revolting.
Oh, and he's like, I don't like that.
And Jeff
word.
Goldblum looks at her and goes, I don't like that word. And she's like, what, revolting?
She's like, mainframe?
Yeah, the mainframe.
No, like mainframe, no. Why would I? No, slave, the S word. And I'm sitting here like, oh, God in heaven, are we really doing this now?
I thought.
And she's like,
go ahead.
What did she, what was the word?
She said
Workers
warriors that don't get paid.
Yeah.
No, workers
Unpaid
with
workers.
like prisoners with a job.
Yeah, prisoners
with a job.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, there you go.
I thought you were going to talk about that the ship that they stole to go into the devil's anus was his orgy ship.
Oh, we already talked about that.
We already talked about that, Tim. Where were you?
It just happened. Like,
Looking at something
That
that
was
I'm
2 minutes ago. Did you black
happened?
out
that
again?
post.
what happened, Tim?
I was
Did
searching.
you just
no,
Tyler
that's
Durden
saying
on us?
Well, no. I
Tim,
was searching
Tim,
up something in
Don't
IMDb.
take my role.
Yeah, that's how Andy always does. Andy's always like 5 minutes later. Oh, what about this?
I was searching in
It's
something
okay,
IMDb.
Tim. We still love you.
No, that I did not feel any awkwardness at all during
No,
that
I
scene.
didn't.
I actually thought it was pretty funny.
It was, I can get the awkwardness maybe like if you're, trying to be PC about stuff, but I'm so tired of PC shit. Like I thought it was funny.
All right.
So,
So they
I thought it was
returned to
weird for
Asgard.
Jeff Goldblum to be like, talking about slaves.
yeah.
Considering he was like, Jewish, and he was talking. He was in the Prince of Egypt. Anyway, let's move along.
Move along. Anyway,
Pyramids.
so we get back to Asgard, through the Devil's Anus, and
And Fenris is fucking like taking a leak on the Bifrost while they're like
she found
hunting
where
down the Asgardian.
we missed where
civilians.
she found where Heimdall led the remaining Asgardians.
oh, that's right. We kind of skipped that whole part, didn't we?
Yeah, Heimdall's
we-
there. He's got the sword.
Yeah, after Heimdall lost his job or removed himself from his post, he was going through and rescuing all the Asgardian civilians and taking them to this old, like I don't know what it was, like old building they don't use anymore.
It looked like the Mines of Moria.
Yeah, it did a little bit. Yeah,
It was.
He's like, Belloc.
Belloc.
yeah. So he's picking them all up, saving them, taking them there, and then Hela discovers where they are finally somehow. I forget. Oh, the one guy, the executioner Scourge, is going to kill this woman. And this one guy stands up for them and says, "Oh, that's where they are at."
There's always that one guy
Always that
who's
one
like,
douche.
"Oh, my personal loss is more important than the loss of society.
Right.
I'm going to sell everyone out." There's always that guy.
Always one that ruins everything.
Then fucking Idris Elba is on my shit list, man. Like, don't get me wrong, he's pretty awesome, but fuck, dude, like Dark Tower wasn't good, and this was like a super phoned in version of Heimdall.
I liked Heimdall in this one because he actually fought more. Like we only saw in the other one, he like took one swing at a frost giant and like got frozen. Like
I know, but that's sort of what Heimdall is.
Yeah.
This was like they just sort of like changed the character of Heimdall so that Idris Elba could do more.
maybe. I mean, I don't know the full comic character. I just know I thought it was pretty badass. He's swinging around this giant sword, beating the shit out of undead zombie warriors.
And they showed a little bit more of his power where he was actually able to bring Thor in like
Right.
mentally, like through his
And he could
his
see what
ability
he's
to
seeing.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and showed him like this is what's going on.
So yeah, so we missed. Well, we kind of missed that. So we jumped back to it. And that comes
Well,
up.
I think there's a reason that we forgot
Yeah.
about that, Sweeney, because I feel like the film itself almost glosses over
It does, a
the
little bit.
happenings of Asgard.
It does. It like we don't really get to hear what happened to Asgard because we're worried about Thor and Hulk, trying to get off this planet.
There's a couple callbacks to it, but it's mostly just like her shooting the shit with Scourge and talking
Right.
about like, wow, I can't wait to rule the universe. Mwahaha. Like, like I said, man, it just felt really like unfleshed out. And
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett, you'll always be Galadriel, baby, but damn just
girl.
why? Damn girl, you should have put your foot down on set and been like, no.
I'm not doing this. So we get back to when Heimdall actually lets them in again, to the Bifrost, and they're all like trying to get out. They're trying to escape down the Rainbow Causeway or whatever it's called.
The Bifrost.
Bifrost Bridge, the Rainbow Causeway.
Rainbow Causeway.
It's fucking Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road,
Luigi.
yeah, from Mario Kart. Absolutely. So they're all trying to run down there, and then Fenris pops out, blocks the way, and then so at this point, Thor has left Valkyrie and Hulk and the ship to go pretty much confront Hela to try to draw her away from the prisoners or civilians or whatever.
The Asgardians.
The Asgardians. And so he's in her chair, which we've seen in the previews again. You're in my seat.
But still, man, like, okay, so he's got Gungnir. Okay,
Yeah.
God, I can't believe I know this shit. That is Odin's spear. So Gungnir is Odin's spear, and it's like one of the most powerful Asgardian weapons. But this is Ragnarok, man. Thor is supposed to claim the God Slayer in this story. It's a sword. It's like a gigantic. You guys played HeroClix. Remember God Slayer? Fucking Ragnarok Thor. Yeah, like that doesn't happen. He picks up his dad's spear and like just fails miserably with it within like 2 minutes.
He held his own for a little bit.
Yeah, when he loses the spear and decides to go Lightning Super Saiyan on her.
Well, yeah, I mean it's over 9,000
after he loses something else too.
Yeah,
I mean and he loses an eye in the process.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
right
cool.
eye.
Like they knocked his eye out, but like they still managed in like the trailers to keep that part hidden. Like because there's several scenes like what we saw in the movie where his eye was missing, but in the trailer, both
eyes are intact.
Which I thought was a pretty good touch. At least they kept some things from us.
They re-edited the trailers to make that misleading. So that's a huge plot.
Oh yeah,
like he losing his eye becomes just like Odin.
Exactly.
Now he's still got no Mjolnir. For all you people hoping the hammer's coming back, nope, gone for good. Suck it. Hammer fans, burn.
It's gone. It's destroyed. I mean, maybe he'll go find another star and reforge it.
From what I understand, in Infinity War, he's supposed to be getting Jormungandr,
the axe?
fucking axe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought that was Yarnborn.
Yarnborn, my bad.
At this point, you're just saying like
fucking IKEA took a shit all over comic books.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck? Like it's like I can't. It's like
can you use some vowels?
It's like JARG
Jägermeister
BORN or something like that. Like
no, he's not wrong. It's like JGARN
Jesus.
BOR. Bjorn, Jarnbjorn.
Like, I'm just saying it like the J is silent, so I'm just like Yarnbjorn.
Yarnborn?
Yeah, like I don't.
You say it really fast.
We should go to
sounds
IKEA
like Norman.
and ask them to.
Do you have any Yarnbjorns?
You have any Yarnbjorns?
I don't think
Where's your
IKEA here
Mjolnirs?
is like hiring local Swedish people.
You don't know. They might.
You can't. I'm pretty sure there's a law that you can't sell Swedish meatballs unless you are in fact
That's right. Like the Swedish chef. Okay. Got off track there. All right. So back on the Rainbow Causeway. You have.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I'm just like.
Can somebody cue up some Mario Kart music, please?
So they're going down. They're yar.
They're all going down.
Wait, what is that? Yar.
They're all traveling down. And is this also the same time that Heimdall has all the other Asgardians on because Hela found where they were? So he's like, we got to get to this.
Yeah. All right. See, you just pulled it, Tim. I just mentioned that like 2 minutes ago.
So yeah.
No, they're going Andy. Fuck off.
Well, I was going to say what we also missed over is this entire time, Valkyrie and Bruce Banner are like, I know you. Where do I know you from? I know you. You.
That's what I was getting to.
It's because they fucked.
I don't think they did.
I'm serious. I think Hulk and Valkyrie banged.
They probably did. I mean,
let's be honest. She's a huge alcoholic. She loves to fight and punch things. Hulk is like, like a perfect for that type of woman. That's his type of chick. And they're like getting along. They're getting on really well, man, when you see their interactions.
According to Thor, he has just a big green donger. So
Donger?
Donger,
man. He's just,
the donger knows.
Since we're spelling words, Donger.
You said Donner first.
Is that another IKEA word? Donger.
Yeah,
Shit,
so they're
man.
in the ship.
So yeah, but Thor and like Valkyrie have like this like, flirtatious, like, oh, you kick ass. Well, I kick ass too thing going while Banner's around. But like, I'm waiting for like in Infinity War when Hulk comes back and he's like, oh yeah, Hulk hit that. Oh, Thor won Hulk sloppy second. Good for Hulk. Good for Thor. Like, that's gonna be an awkward conversation.
Yeah. So then he's like, oh, I know where you know me from, and he's like, just watch this. He's like gonna jump out of the ship to to engage Hulk mode. Because
he wants to Hulk out so he could fight Fenris.
Which is another thing that is glossed over because Banner makes mention that if he turns again, he's worried that he's going to permanently stay
So he
Hulk.
knows this is a risk. But like, he's willing to take this risk.
It's what you were saying earlier of like emotional moments that were just kind of skipped over.
Yeah, they don't like talk about it. It's
he doesn't mention it at all. He just jumps out the plane.
Right. Yeah. There's no there's like maybe like 3 seconds of him thinking about it, but that's
But this
it.
was
And then
one of
he's
the
like, "Oh, I'm
humor
gonna jump
moments
out."
that I loved. I cracked up at this because everyone's expecting the hero landing. It's going to be
Right.
Hulk landing down. And,
Also, Mark Ruffalo, yeah.
and when he splats face first and Fenris stops and kind of
Yeah,
sniffs at him,
And Mark Ruffalo looks legitimately dead.
he does. Oh my god, I cracked up.
That was funny.
It's not that it's not funny. It's inappropriately funny.
Right.
It is an opportunity
No, because
for
had he
cinematic
Hulked,
genius.
landed as Hulk,
and they decide to go
like
for a
superhero
fucking pie
pose,
throw.
everyone would have been like, cliche, saw it coming a mile away,
Right.
already done
No.
this.
Not at all, dude. No, in fact, I actually saw the pie throw more than I saw like the. I was like, there's no way Marvel's going to do
I
this
didn't
right.
see
No,
that.
I didn't
They're
see
gonna
it
go for the pie
coming.
throw.
That's why
I did not see
cracked
him
up.
smashing into the ground.
I was
thought
waiting
for sure,
for
like,
Hulk to land.
Hulk's gonna show up in front of Fenris and like growl at him and you know, showdown time. No,
I'm with Tim on this. What I'm talking about is the emotional turmoil.
Oh, yeah, no,
I wanted
they
to see
did gloss
Banner
that.
like really
That
think
should
about
have been
like
done
what he's
on
about to
the
do to
ship.
himself.
Right.
Like on the ship, he should have been like, like that internal like turmoil where he's just like, if I do this,
I
there may
definitely
be no
agree.
coming back.
They definitely should have talked to like that's like a big deal. Like because if Banner goes away, that's half of like Hulk's superpower again a little bit is Banner's intelligence and Banner's scientific mind and how he helps out Tony and all this other aspect. You just become one dimensional. You're the Hulk, which yes is still a good hero to have on your side, but you lose an entire person.
So I think the term that I've been like grasping at, trying to like think about while I've been thinking about this movie, just came to me, and it's low brow.
Yeah, it definitely
That's
was
what I'm
very low
getting
brow
at.
in times.
This was an opportunity for the Hulk to have like a serious character development moment.
Yeah.
And instead they went with ha ha ha, Banner splat on Bifrost.
Well, I think they could have made that moment before that. They still could have done the splat on Bifrost funny moment.
Yeah, but maybe at a different moment. Maybe earlier in the film, like back on Sakaar or some
they
shit.
just needed to like build up that moment where Banner was finally deciding, you know what, they need me. I have to do this, which we've always seen Banner struggle with too. He doesn't want to become the Hulk at times. We've always seen him struggle with that decision to actually become a Hulk because he loses control. And I think they really did. They really glossed over this moment, how it could have been a really emotional, very, make us really feel for Banner and make us be upset. They might lose this character, and then they could have splat, which would have been a funny moment. But they just skipped over everything. We're like, oh, splat, Banner dead.
So I think this is why I'm like I tend to lean more towards the DC movies, is because they don't go with this like lowbrow decision.
I haven't seen a DC movie yet that I'm good with.
All right, well once again that's your opinion, but
right, yeah.
But DC decides to when they have that moment, they go for like the emotional tug as opposed to the pie throw.
They're very serious. A lot of DC movies are very serious. Minus Suicide Squad, which that doesn't count.
Which makes me understand why Marvel movies are so popular compared to DC movies, because fucking stupid people love lowbrow pie throws. So Marvel's all up on this shit, and people like getting like, oh, DC's too serious. I can't handle it. Like, yeah, no shit, because you don't understand
think DC's too serious. I mean, that's a different argument for a different show. I don't think DC's too serious. I think they had the right amount of serious. I think Marvel can have the right amount of serious too.
And why aren't they, man?
I think this one just went above what we're used to. Usually we get that good balance.
It just felt like they're like, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy is smashing right now because it's funny.
Right.
Let's make Thor that.
Yeah,
right.
But you know what?
I agree. I think
even
a lot of parts it worked, but some parts
Guardians
it didn't.
2, and Guardians 2 had hardcore emotional tugs, man.
It did.
Guardians didn't go for the pie throw every time. They learned that you can do funny, but still do like appropriate, serious.
Right. What I think they were trying to do in this one, and I think I said this to Andy after we saw it, is they try to do a throwback to like how Iron Man is. Like Iron Man has that very humoristic aspect of his self because he's a drunk, he's an alcoholic, he's a womanizer, he's like all these things. I think they tried to make Thor, this movie, kind of be like Iron Man 2, a little bit.
Tried to humanize him a little.
Yeah. And I do. I think it was over the top. I do agree with. I think they could have reeled it in a little bit, and could have pumped up the emotional aspect of things and sometimes. I don't think it ruined the movie for me. I just think I do agree. I think they could have really developed the character in different ways.
I guess I've just been watching. I've been doing this we've all been doing this for so fucking long that I'm just tired. I'm tired of the Three Stooges with superpowers, man. I want I want a cinematic film. I want to give a shit about these characters and not have them lose a fucking hand. And the next scene, they're like, I don't know, I'm doing like dick and fart jokes. I don't need that shit anymore.
Right.
I'm grown up. I'm old.
I think we might get that. I think we might get that coming in like an Infinity War. I think they're trying to do humor now while they still can, because I think Infinity War is going to be very dark. I think we're going to get deaths of characters. I think it's going to be a completely different feel. So I think maybe they're trying to like pump in the humor now while they can.
I'm optimistically hopeful. I hope that you're right about that, but I'm not seeing it right now. All I'm seeing is like, I'm seeing just years and years of Hulk ass and tight pants jokes. That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope they kind of reel it back in for some good movies coming up here soon.
And so the film ends pretty much with them evacuating Asgard. They decide that they're just going to let Surtur from the beginning of the film have his way with Asgard and just fucking wrecks Hela and Asgard. Right. They escape on a spaceship. Odin has his refugees, and they're like, "Let's go to Earth."
Well. So you have a good battle scene between Fenris and Hulk. They have their own fight, kind of a good little scene there.
And while that's going on, Hela and
we have
Thor
that going
fighting.
on. Yep, we have you have the scene of Thor going through and destroying all the minions, which I thought was a pretty cool fight scene for Thor. Then you have Valkyrie and Thor versus. Was Loki there too helping?
Yeah, he showed up like halfway through the fight.
Okay. So you have them fighting Hela. They're not winning, they're losing. So Thor pretty much tells everyone to get off the ship, tells Valkyrie and Thor.
And this was a big thing that happened in the movie that I was shocked didn't get leaked beforehand. This is during the battle scene. And again, this is your own fault if you're still listening. Thor loses an eye.
We already talked about
Jesus Christ. That's 2 people that have blacked out in the middle of this episode.
We kind of glossed over.
No, we didn't. We literally said that was a huge part.
I talked about how you could still see it in the trailers, and that was good of them for good editing and didn't get leaked out.
You pumping fucking like Freon into that basement? What's going on?
What is going on here? That was like literally, we actually talked about it for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. You're right.
I tuned you out.
Yeah, we're done. Moving on to the next subject.
I'm done.
We're not going to go over that again.
So they get on, like you said, they get on the ship. They're all taken off. Surtur shows up. Now is Hela dead?
I don't get her. I don't care.
It's the Queen of the Dead.
So first of all, Surtur doesn't show up. Loki takes the thing and ignites it on purpose and lets him come.
Yeah. He doesn't show up. I'm saying like they allowed him.
They decided to allow Ragnarok to happen, the prophecy to come true.
Because Ragnarok also implies not just apocalypse, but a rebirth.
Right.
The word itself.
So like, yes, we're going to allow this to happen. He's the only thing that can stand against Hela.
Yes.
He literally stands against her.
Right. She's like throwing all these giant things at him. Cool battle scene. And he's just like, ha ha.
Here's my sword.
My giant fire sword the size of a mountain is better than your imaginary daggers from nowhere.
Right. And he just slams it into her, knocks her into oblivion, knocks it
through Asgard.
And then, through Asgard, puts his sword through the heart of Asgard and explosion.
Neat.
Like Death Star explosion.
Yup. And then it becomes Star Trek with the fucking captain. Oh my God, that's the second time that Chris Hemsworth has sat in the seat of a fucking Federation starship.
What? Oh, that's right. He was Kirk's dad in the beginning of Star Trek.
That's right.
You're welcome, nerds.
Good job. Yep. So then you get another scene with Porg or whatever the hell his name is.
Porg.
Korg.
Yeah, dude, it's Korg. Like a fucking Korg.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I sent you a picture today of the pop.
I don't read things, Andy. So you get another scene with Korg and the little bug guy, the one that just had the blades for hands, and the one with the gladiators. And they like, "What's your home planet?" And he's like, "Oh, he's dead. I stepped on him in the hallway. I feel really bad, so I just been carrying him around."
oh no, he's alive.
No, he's alive.
Don't get me wrong, love this character, but another really serious scene, and here's a dick and fart joke.
Right. It was. You're right. And then Thor, let's go to Earth. So it's like, oh, okay, now Asgard's going to be on Earth.
I mean, it's like
in the comics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what happened after Ragnarok.
It's been above Broxton. It was above Broxton, Oklahoma,
Massachusetts,
and now I can't remember what it's above now.
I'm assuming they're going to go to Norway because that's where Odin was.
That's probably a good point. Sweeney might have. They might land on Norway.
I think that's where he's taking it because Odin even says this is home.
They sure as shit aren't going to go to American soil because let's be honest, they're going to build a wall to keep out the Asgardians. I'm sure some of them are good people.
Well, this is where we'll talk about the post-credits sequence of Thor and Loki talking, and a giant ship appears.
The Sanctuary 2.
And the ship
Sanctuary
is...
2, and the ship is Thanos's.
So again, we know Infinity War is coming, so this is like directly linked.
But what I'm talking is like, do the Asgardians even make it to Earth?
Well,
the Guardians are going to have to rescue them. The Guardians will rescue them.
If and this is where we get into massive spoilers.
We
the
already-
D23, I know the D23 summit that was back in July, August.
Yeah.
They showed a trailer for Avengers, and it begins with the Guardians
picking
talking,
up Thor.
and then Thor just hits the windshield.
That's true. It is. Yeah. So maybe it is like he blows up the ship and Thor gets knocked out.
So I don't think he's
floating.
going to blow the ship up. I think he's going to board the ship. Loki obviously has the Tesseract because he eyeballed it when he went to get Surtur's helmet.
Yeah.
So he
took it again.
lifts
So
it.
either
He probably joins.
so
Thanos
either
and-
Loki lets Thanos know,
Yeah, and Thor gets left
or just
behind for dead, like,
right, or
literally
just-
out into space.
yeah.
I think the rest of the Asgardians, like Heimdall or somebody, will get the ship away.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, or they all could be dead.
We'll find out in May.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that was the
right.
end of a
That
Thor
was-
trilogy.
yeah, that was the end of Thor's. I mean, we're gonna get Infinity War next. I really am looking forward to Infinity War. I want it to be like the all-out war that I'm hoping it will be.
I hope it is. Like I hope it's just like 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2 hours and a half, 2.5 hours of just.
Well, I want the first one to be like Thanos just destroying everything, and like
I don't know
Dark
if he's.
Days.
I don't
even
know if he's
think-
going to be in four. I don't even think he's going to be in the fourth one.
But I mean, we
I
don't
think he
have
will.
to see him. I'm just saying I want
Well, yeah,
him
he
to be
will.
like.
They've already. So they announced that the next movie is obviously called Infinity War.
Mhm.
So in the comics, it was Infinity Gauntlet,
Right.
then War. And this, they're doing it backwards because I believe it was Zoe Saldana while being interviewed. She was like, I've already finished my filming for Infinity War and Gauntlet. So she even used the word Gauntlet. So
Shoot.
I
Okay.
think Infinity
Shoot.
War is
There
going to
goes
be
my
him still getting those last gems, and you're going to end with him
Right.
full glove.
I mean, I had
full glove.
I had a
glove.
theory, and there goes my theory.
All right.
Yeah.
Real talk. Wish list.
Real talk.
Who do you want to die in these movies?
Iron Man.
You really?
Cap.
What? You
Cap.
really want Iron Man to die?
Yeah, I want Iron Man, Cap to die.
I want Hawkeye.
I want
Hawkeye. I want
well,
you dead.
Yeah, he's irrelevant.
Hawkeye is in 4. I know that.
Yeah, he's irrelevant to me. If he lives or dies, I won't feel anything.
I saw a set photo.
I want Vision to die.
I want Vision to go away.
I think Vision will
I
die
I think
in
Quicksilver comes
You
back.
don't like Paul
he
Yeah,
has-
Bettany?
Quicksilver comes back.
the Vision will have to die in the
He takes the stone from his
Infinity.
face.
Right. Or not die, but at least
The stone gets ripped off. and-
depowered. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want a lot of the big hair. I want, like I said, I want that all-out war.
I think-
want like that darkest days kind of like feeling.
I think Cap dies, and they do Bucky Cap.
Think so?
I'd watch that. That'd be cool.
What about Punisher Cap?
Hydra Cap?
Fuck off with that shit. No, Punisher Cap.
Punisher Cap.
Oh, God, I'd love Punisher Cap. That'd be the tits.
Cap that kills
Why
everybody.
the fuck do you guys like that so
Why
much?
Because
not?
it's fucking
I don't
accurate,
know.
Tim.
You guys like Punisher way more than I do.
No,
Yeah,
it's
he's a great
because
I'm
it's
character.
excited for
accurate.
the Punisher War Machine comic that's
Yeah,
about to
Punisher
hit.
War Machine would be good.
Captain America should always be an actual reflection of current and modern America. At the time that Punisher Cap was popular in the comics, that was when America was super imperialistic and we were raiding Middle Eastern countries for oil. Now it's Hydra Cap because our president's a Nazi.
Right. I think that I lost my train of thought is what I thought. Nick Fury.
Yeah.
I think Nick Fury dies.
I can see that. I want it to be like that dark. I want a lot of the big stars that you could think, oh, they could never die to die.
It's life
Well, I
model
mean,
decoy.
they might because all their contracts are up
Right.
at the end of 4.
Right.
So
then they'll
Plus, you can still
reboot.
have Iron Man without Tony Stark.
right.
Infinity Gauntlet will have them use the reality gem. They'll kill a bunch of main characters. Then they'll reboot in the
Right.
beginning, and then they'll have a new
I think
actors
that's-
playing all of it.
Yep.
And you get Iron
Right.
Man 1 all over again with a new Iron Man.
Yeah, probably.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Do it, Disney.
No, don't do it, please. Just let it die.
My theory was that since Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s and they got the rights to the Skrulls, that the 4th was going to be Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah. Probably not.
I have a feeling Secret Invasion will happen after.
Yeah.
Yeah, after 4.
Man.
I also, there's a big part of me.
They're already saying that Peter Parker also is pretty much going to be the flagship, like center focus of the next phase.
Yeah.
And I also have a theory, and I don't know whether or not you guys are going to shit all over this, but since they have the rights to the Kree now, they got the rights to the Skrulls back. I think that once 3 or 4 comes out, they're going to announce that they got the rights to Fantastic Four back.
No.
They had the Watcher. They had the Watcher in Guardians 2.
Man, I'm just done with Fantastic Four movies.
I don't really know if that's a bad theory, but Fantastic Four is cursed. It will never make a good movie.
Yeah, they are kind of cursed.
See, I think you guys are wrong on that.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, buddy. If the fucking Boston Red Sox can win a World Series, then Fantastic Four someday in some alternate negative dark reality verse can make a good movie. It can happen. The possibility exists. When it happens,
yeah, it does.
I will be the first person to tell you were right.
There's a good Fantastic Four movie out there, and it's called The Incredibles.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
The Incredibles is good.
You're not wrong, but that doesn't count.
I'm not. I didn't say. I didn't say it did.
That doesn't count.
I'm blasphemous because I don't even like the blasphemous.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't even like the Fantastic Four in the comic books. They're just so boring to me.
They're not a favorite, but I enjoy some stories.
No, I know there's people that, because I understand their roots, I understand the Fantastic Four is kind of like the beginning for the golden age of Marvel. Like they are it, but okay.
Well, isn't that the
You're
one?
Still boring.
Isn't that the one where Stan Lee, his wife, told him to like keep going, just write one more?
He was about to quit.
Yeah.
Working on comics because he didn't like what he was doing. She was like, "Well, stay and do one more. You want.
Yeah.
Do yours."
Yep.
And it was the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. So we all have very different opinions about Thor Ragnarok.
Absolutely.
Let's just go around the table quick with your favorite part and whether or not who you recommend should see this. So, Sweeney, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was towards the end with the big battle scene, and Thor kind of went full Thunder God and like started like wrecking everything.
Do you think that people that have seen most Marvel movies and like comic movies should definitely see this film? Or wait till it's on video?
I think you should definitely go see this film because
it was great in the theater.
I think it does have a good theater feel to it.
All right.
I just think it was a fun movie to watch in general.
Andy, what's your favorite part of the film?
Probably when he gets to interact with the Hulk in Hulk's bedroom.
That's creepy.
I'm a big Hulk fan. So
you like,
that was my favorite scene was.
So you like the two dudes naked?
Yeah,
I did. I enjoyed that, but I enjoyed more of like Hulk finally communicating, conversing, throwing his tantrums, throwing a shield at him, and then when he says, "You're right, everyone on Earth hates you," he literally pouted. He was like, and he goes back and sits on his bed.
I'm not going to judge you, Andy. You can enjoy your bedroom action. It just doesn't as long as you embrace it. So you recommend this film?
Yeah, I recommend. I definitely would say see it. And I thought it was a good theater experience. I'm going again on Tuesday to give it a second viewing.
God, you're the reason these movies keep getting fucking made. Tim, what's your favorite part about this movie?
I liked the scene in the beginning, near the beginning, where Loki's having the actors do like his death scene in Dark World.
That was funny.
Like that was real good.
With Mjolnir coming for his face.
I mean, like I like the favorite part was the look of shock on Anthony Hopkins' face and under his breath. Oh shit! I would recommend it. I thought it was a real fun movie to watch.
Worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
My favorite part of the film was the Justice League trailer before it.
we didn't get that.
Like I had friends of mine.
We got a year-old Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, we got the first teaser trailer for Star Wars, and we didn't get the new one or Black Panther or Justice League.
Nothing.
We got a shitty looking kids movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we did get the Matt Damon movie where he opts to shrink down.
Downsizing.
Yeah.
You guys will love
see
this.
That.
So the 3 trailers that played before my film were obviously the Justice League trailer that had like the We Can Be Heroes trailer.
Yeah.
I got the Pacific Rim Uprising with like
we did get that
hardcore gangster music. I got another movie that I can't remember what it was called. It was like a heist movie with Ice Cube's son and Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah.
We saw that.
I can't remember what it's called, but that had hardcore gangster music. And then I got Black Panther, which had hardcore, which had like the revolution will be live and not televised. Like, and I'm sitting here looking around, I'm like, I'm in fucking Indiana. Do they know who their audience is right now? But don't get me wrong, I'm psyched for Black Panther in February.
Oh, absolutely.
It looks so
I
good.
think Black Panther's gonna be awesome.
I'm actually not very amped up for Black Panther, and more, I think after I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh look, Marvel did a thing where his villain is going to be somebody that has his same suit.
It's White Tiger. Maybe if you read a Black Panther comic a day in your life, he's an actual Black Panther villain.
Boring.
No, it's not boring. It's actually really good.
No, Black Panther is
I
very
think some
boring
of
in the
your
comics.
favorite fucking villain is Venom. That is
Actually,
Spider-Man.
I would
Shut
say
up.
Magneto is my favorite villain.
Oh, this motherfucker. If I could reach the internet and choke you.
Venom looks cool. But if you're going to say who's the
Black
best
Panther looks
villain
cool.
in the Marvel universe, it's Magneto.
My point is that your argument just a moment ago was that you think villains that have the same powers as their hero, is stupid.
I said in the
but
Marvel
you love Venom.
Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
That's been one of their...
You're just being negative to be negative.
I don't mind this being his villain.
Tell me that I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
Because it's...
You're fucking
I don't
wrong.
mind it being this villain because it makes sense for the storyline that they're going for. It's the build up of him as Black Panther. And like an internal villain makes sense.
Yes, I think it's a great idea.
Black Panther is a character, cool.
No,
Put him in the
I think
Avengers,
it looks cool.
Standalone movie. I'm going to go see it.
I think it looks very cool.
Don't get me wrong. I'll go see it. It's just not something that is on my, oh shit, I can't wait to go see this.
I think it's going to be better than what I just fucking saw with that Thor movie, honestly. I'll tell you,
it could be.
I think Black Panther's going to be one of the better phase 3s.
Thor is still 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All that
right
tells
now.
me is that 96% of Americans are brain dead.
Well, I think it just gets it appeals to a lot of the common people who actually do go rate movies. And I think that's why it's so high, is because it does appeal to
people. Just want to go see these things and laugh their asses off. They don't want character development. They don't want story-driven stories. They just want, like, look at Hulk's butt.
Yeah, it appeals to the not serious, like, nerd comic population.
Hate.
Right. All right. Well, I think that's it for our show tonight. Again, hit us up on anything on the social media. We have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Oh, I said Instagram, didn't I?
iHeartRadio.
Yeah. iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, anything you want. Please rate us. Please subscribe. I really would like some feedback from everybody. I really would like the idea of getting those hate mails in too. So if you hate us, let us know. We'll definitely talk about you on air.
If you hate our opinions, let us know. Shit. And you know what? Let's do a little fun little exercise on our Instagram. Post a picture of your favorite villain that has the same powers as their hero.
There you go, Andy.
It'll be Venom.
We're gonna villain for you.
I'll have to take a day off work to get that accomplished because there's way too many of them to just sit down and do.
I mean, they got Flash, Reverse Flash, Superman, Zod,
right?
Batman, Ra's al Ghul, or anyone in the Court of Owls. Owlman. I don't give a fuck. Half of his villains.
All right, that's a completely different show. We'll get to that maybe one day.
I like this idea.
I do. Let's
shit on some villains.
Let's do an episode about that. Bam.
All right. Let us know what villain we should shit on next.
All of them.
You know what my favorite villain's going to be? Luke Skywalker.
All right.
We'll call it there.
Well, again, thanks for listening. This is the Hateful Geeks. I'm Sweeney.
I'm Phil.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
We'll catch you next time.
Later.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!